Hey guys, welcome back to planetjejuda. First, let me address the weird angle. I'm using my tablet instead of my phone to record today's video because I need to use my phone to react to TikTok videos. One of these days I will get a setup where I can, anyways. That being said, instead of Reddit, we are doing a TikTok reacts video. Of course, it's going to be fiber art related. I will key in crochet, whatever, knit, whatever, whether it be silly stories or drama. You know I'm going to do the drama because we all want the drama. And then I will watch the videos and react to them. And yeah. So I will go ahead and get started. And let's see what we can find. All right, so I have my first story ready. It's crochet copyright drama. And then underneath it, there you go. And then underneath it says, I have a question because y'all are doing the absolute most. So let's see what is going on.
I'm not involved, I just have a question. When people release patterns and at the end of the pattern it says under no circumstances can you sell this item after you make it using the pattern, is that enforceable? I'm not trying to do it. I'm not making anybody's pattern and trying to...
Okay, honestly, I have no clue. I don't know if that is enforceable, but because I'm not on that side of, and I don't sell stuff. So there you go. I don't know.
Sell it that doesn't want me to. I'm just curious because I feel like after I purchase the pattern, I can do whatever I want with it. And also, not to be that person, but how would you know? Like, if I made your pattern and sold it at my little market, unless someone told you, you would never know that I sold your pattern.
That is a valid point. But I mean, I'm sure, honestly, I have no idea. Let's keep going.
And I didn't even sell your pattern. I sold the item that I made using your pattern. I just don't understand that. I get like the whole pattern copyright thing, but once I've made an item with your pattern, I feel like then that becomes a licensing issue. And I don't think you can license a crochet plushie. Maybe you can. I don't know. Can someone who like actually knows, like a copyright lawyer or something, chime in on this? Because there's been hundreds of opinions of like, you can copyright this and you can license this and you can't make this. Like, I want to see someone sue me. Also, nowadays, there's no such thing as an original crochet pattern. There just isn't. You type in one thing, you type in anything crochet pattern, and 100 patterns are going to pop up.
That's true.
And they're all just kind of bits taken and made into another pattern. Original patterns don't exist. I feel like you shouldn't even be able to copyright a crochet pattern at this point. Just playing out in my head how this conversation would go in court, and it's like, I purchased this plushie on Etsy, made it, sold it at a market, and she's suing me. Like, what are you suing me for? I'm inserting myself into the crochet copyright drama. I'm not involved. I just have a question.
Okay, so it started over. Honestly, I have no clue as far as how that works. I know that creators cannot crochet or knit or whatever something that is already copyrighted or licensed materials such as Disney characters or I don't know, cartoon characters from TV shows, whatever it may be. I do believe that those things are not eligible for making and reselling. That's a fine line because I do believe that Disney has shut down Etsy shops for selling their stuff. So I don't know about the rest of it. I don't know if you can make a pattern and be like, this is my pattern. You can't use it for anything except for to make for yourself. You can't use it to sell anything. So I don't know. That is interesting. And let's see if I can, some of the comments. Can I even read? One of the comments, I was always told don't sell the pattern, but your own creation from the pattern is fair game, unless it's like Disney. Case in point, literally what I just said. Yeah, of course, don't sell the pattern, but I don't think that they can hold, like you have a tangible item. Like I could recreate this in amigurumi, but I couldn't sell it because this is a licensed character. So I get that. If I did recreate this, I would be giving it as a gift as opposed to trying to sell it. And as far as a pattern that someone came up with, I bought the pattern. So, and I'm making the product. Obviously, I would want to give credit to the pattern's creator, but I don't know. That's kind of a weird situation. Let's see if what someone else says. It was put simply to me many years ago. You cannot sell the pattern. It's someone else's creation. You can sell the product made from the pattern. It specifically is your own personal creation. Yeah, see, exactly. So copyrighting someone or keeping someone from being able to sell an item that they made using your pattern, and yeah, I think doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. All right, let's see.
So by now we've all seen or tried our hand at the viral 6-day star blanket. There's been a lot of discourse about the blanket itself, the pattern, and the person who put it out.
Okay, so I have seen the 6-day blanket, have not even thought about trying. It's a pretty blanket. I don't know. So this should be interesting. And yeah, let's go ahead and listen.
But what I'm going to explain to you today is a little bit deeper than a pattern and a blanket, even deeper than crochet itself. Another crochet creator on here, Knotty Bree Crochet, I'm going to tag her below so you can go look at her page and see her videos on this. She came out and stated that she has a learning disability where numbers and letters will like switch and it makes things really hard to read and understand. So she rewrote the pattern to the best of her ability to make it more accessible for people like her. BMK did not like that. So she had her take it down for copyright infringement. And so allegedly, Knotty Bree went to her and they messaged back and forth and essentially said, hey, if you want me to take it down, that's fine. But here's my notes to make it more accessible. Could you add these in? BMK said, nah, I'm good. Then proceeds to have every version of this accessible pattern that Knotty put out taken down. And I agree. It's definitely one thing to not want somebody to rewrite your pattern for monetary gain, which is not what Knotty Bree Crochet was doing by any means. But it's another thing to completely disregard a very large demographic of people who also crochet. I've seen a few people on her side saying that that's how she makes money, that's why she doesn't want people resharing it, because even if they go to the blog, there's ads, and even if they go on YouTube, she makes money from YouTube, and so on and so forth. But it is a little weird since, Knotty was super nice about it. She took it down, tried to talk to her, tried to give her the accessibility notes, and why not if the work's already been done for you? Oh, what do you think? So by now we've all seen or tried our hand.
Okay, so I don't know anything about this situation. I have seen, like I said, I've seen the blankets, and I've seen people doing the blanket, and I just could not fathom doing something like that in 6 days, but there you go. Let me see. If I remember, I will put a picture of said blanket. And so from what I'm gathering is the creator of the pattern isn't wanting someone else to make it more accessible to other people. And I get it because it's their pattern. But by what she said is the person that was trying to make the changes and make it more accessible to more people reached out and wanted to have that information inserted, and the pattern creator didn't want to. That just, I don't know. That sounds a little petty. I could be wrong. I don't know this. I'm doing this blind, y'all. I'm doing this blind. But let's see what some of the people had to say. First comment, it's just crazy. Everyone is only getting one side of the drama and running with it. Okay. And next comment, I like that you acknowledge the large population of crocheters with disabilities who frequently get forgotten when it comes to inclusion. Thank you. And then let's see. Tell me why I bought yarn to learn to crochet yesterday, and this morning I'm on Crochet Drama Talk. Okay, that I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I read there are errors in the original instructions. Is this true? Well, obviously no one's replied, so I can understand both sides. On one side, there are definitely going to be people who need the accessibility of rewriting the original pattern, but if the original poster gets ad revenue money from, oops, I don't want to reply. I guess that's it. Okay. Anyways, let's see. On topic, or never mind. Next one. If I put a lot of time and energy into making a pattern and I even released it as a free pattern, and then someone made it more accessible for those who struggle to read it, I would have absolutely no. Can we see the whole comment? Do I need to hit reply to see the whole comment? Oh, no problem with adding her notes to it or even releasing that accessible version and crediting her for the notes. Why wouldn't you want to make it easier to read for as many people as possible? And then someone commented on there, then people should buy the pattern if they want it to be accessible, not distributing someone's work. I mean, that is true. You shouldn't be distributing the work. Never said they shouldn't, but also the OG creator does have the pattern available for free too. And the person who modified the pattern to make it more accessible was not trying to take credit. Yeah, I mean, if the pattern's already free, then, I mean, anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you think. And let's see. Should we try and find some...
the viral 6-day start blanket. There's been a lot of discourse about the blanket itself, the
pause,
and the person who put it.
All right, so I now put in Knitting Drama, and actually I follow this person. I don't know if it's the same person that posted it is the same person on YouTube, but I do follow this girl on YouTube. And so let's hear what's going on.
Comes about because someone involved has a reaction that we all look at and go like, huh, what are you doing? But today I actually want to talk about a situation where I think the person involved kind of did the best they could in the situation that they were put in. Quick content warning, I will be referencing swastikas and showing designs that somewhat... So, Stephen West is the designer behind West Knits. He's been designing and releasing patterns since 2009, number of pattern books, and is immensely popular on Ravelry. His most popular design on Ravelry has 10,851 different projects listed under the design, which basically means that over 10,000 people have purchased this pattern, made the project, and then listed it on this website. West's popularity largely comes from his many knit shawl patterns that are praised for their complex colorwork and unique designs. Stephen West is also known for his popular mystery knit-alongs, which the community widely... So Stephen West has been running these MCALs for years, and this week kicked off the beginning of his 14th MCAL, called the Geo Gradient. The color play is beautiful, but I'm nervous about the center design. It looks close to a swastika. I've asked 4 other people, and they see it too. Talk about drama that comes about because someone involved has a...
Wow. So that's only just a part of it. If I can find the actual post from YouTube, because I want to say I've seen this actual episode, and if I can find it, I will put it in the description box below. I will also be putting the names of all the creators that I am seeing these videos from in... Well, you'll see them on the screen, but I'll also put them in the description box below. But that being said... That's let's see what people had to say. That's kind of crazy. Too busy in the Tumblr drama. Oh, okay. Next comment, it happens more than people even know. The drama or the swastika signs. I can believe it. A woman who had an online knitting site a few years ago got torn up because she was excited about visiting India. Okay. And someone else, I need a part 2. I mean, that would, yeah, me too. So someone wanting to go visit somewhere, they got shade? I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Under the too busy in the Tumblr drama, there's some extra comments. It says, I must not have seen the right design. Not being a knitter, I wasn't sure exactly what to look for. The only images of the design I found looked like a square, not a knitter, so I don't know. And then the final comment is, I'm not even certain at this point. I just know the original video highlighted all of the backlash the designer suffered. Yeah. So I will, if I can, I will link that video, her video, in the description box below. But let's see what else does TikTok have to say about knitting?
Dinner with me tonight.
I don't think that. Well, we don't.
All right, Fiber people, let's talk about that Discord server. For those who don't know, there's been like drama in the knitting community because a Discord server was discovered where people were taking paid patterns and giving them away for free. Some designers jumped in, were like, this is stealing, please don't do this. There was like someone posted screenshots of the person defending it, being like, oh, we can't control people.
Yeah, that is, right off the bat, before this goes on, don't share something you paid for and give it away for free, because that's somebody's livelihood that you're messing with. When I do videos on here from other creators, I don't do a tutorial. I don't show you how it's done, because I want you to go to the tutorial that I learned whatever it is that I'm creating. I want you to go to them, give them the credit that they deserve, because it is their project. All right, let's continue.
So first and foremost, I just want to say, don't steal patterns. There are more free patterns out there than you could ever knit in a lifetime.
Exactly.
Even if you knit as fast as like the knitting sisters who do those like challenges where they knit a whole sweater in 2 weeks, like even if you can knit that fast, you're never going to get through all the free patterns. Second of all, like it takes me months to knit a sweater from a written pattern. I cannot imagine how long it takes people to write the patterns. And I watched some really good podcasts where designers are like pretty transparent with their process. It's months and months and months of labor. These are not massive corporations. This is not Chumbawamba in the 90s saying if you can't afford it, steal it about their album. Like these are small businesses. These people rely on this income to support their life and their work and support it. Separate from all of that, however, I wanted to talk about how in my mind this like sort of ties into overconsumption, and one of the ways in which I think there are jokes which are really funny, but like if taken in earnestness can actually be very like a bad mentality in my opinion. Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, it's your money, you spend it how you want. I'm not here to judge. Everyone's life is different. Everyone can like should do what's best for them. But I think when you first get into knitting, there is this whole like pressure of like get your stash and all this stuff, and knitting is so expensive, knitting is so expensive. It can be. It absolutely can be. I started knitting about a year ago. I was very stressed. I got a promotion at work, which was great, but it was like a lot more responsibility. And I was planning my wedding, which was also fantastic, but a lot of work. And I was just losing my mind. And for anyone who's ever planned a wedding, you know that like the year before and the year after, you're broke. Like right? You have no money. Every extra dollar that comes in that's not going to rent and groceries and your car payment and health insurance is going to paying for the wedding or paying down, like paying off the wedding. And that's the situation I've been in the entire time I've been knitting. I am not building a stash. I cannot afford it. I buy yarn for the project I'm about to cast on. And as much as I would love to support different designers and like buy their patterns as they come in, regardless of if I'm ready to knit them, can't afford it, I'm not doing it. I buy a pattern when I'm ready to knit it. That is a very valid way of being a knitter. And one of the things it has been training me in as someone who's always loved fashion and can like want to follow trends and want the new thing is to just get very, very comfortable with slow consumption, which is not something I was raised in a world that encourages. And I think it's a really important, healthy habit. People on this app talk a lot about how one of the good things about knitting is you're creating these heirlooms that you'll wear forever. You can pass on to your children. You're breaking this like cycle of overconsumption in terms of like industry and industrial clothing production. And that is all true. But like, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, like it's, but like we have to fight the overconsumption in our mind. You do not need a library of hundreds and hundreds of patterns that you have not knit. It is, not only is it perfectly valid to buy a pattern and like just when you're ready to start knitting it, it also is kind of fun. Like I'm working on a vest right now and I'm not finished with it. I still have to do all the ribbing. Plus I'm doing like a mid-project block. Like I think it's too short. But I told myself when I finished the pattern, like the chart as written, I could buy my next pattern and buy the yarn because when it comes, I should be on the ribbing and that'll be like seamless enough that I can take on starting another whip. It becomes a benchmark thing, a thing you can do to celebrate hitting a benchmark in your previous pattern, and it gets you excited for the next one. So all of this to say, do not steal patterns, but also don't feel like you have to have hundreds and hundreds of patterns. You don't. It's okay to just have it's okay to have a library of patterns that are only patterns that you've knit. All
right. I completely agree. Yeah, definitely don't steal somebody else's pattern, and that is their livelihood. And it is true. We don't need to have thousands of patterns, regardless of whether it's crochet or knit or whatever. We don't need to have them all. You don't even need to do more kinds of stuff. Now, I do want to learn a lot of stuff, but right now I am really hooked on the granny stitch. And so a lot of what I do is utilizing that granny stitch. So, I mean, there you go. Even that, you don't, yeah. Okay, let's see what people had to say. As someone in tech who is used to open source, I don't see an issue with sharing. I think it raises the standard of the patterns and people. Is that supposed to be people? Yes, and people can always support their favorite designers. Okay, I'm going to just automatically go under there. Someone said, it's like sharing a paid ebook on internet. I'm the author of my patterns. If you share a paid pattern of mine, it is stealing. It doesn't rise the quality of patterns. You wouldn't share a movie online. Blah. Some people do, but I mean, yeah, true. Someone's like, I mean, it's literally illegal. Copyright infringement. Designers deserve to be compensated for their labor just as any other laborer does. I agree. So, I mean, that first comment, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Yes, and if you're only trying patterns as needed, they're so affordable. Like, why are people stealing something that they could skip a coffee and buy for practically the same price? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And go on Pinterest, Google it. There are hundreds and hundreds of patterns that are literally free, so you don't have to steal somebody else's work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and... Did we stop recording? Oh, no. I think it did. It did. Okay. Well, I don't know where it stopped recording, so at some point it'll just stop. Anyways, that was kind of interesting. I am going to work on doing that a little better. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I would love it if you would hit that like button, and if you'd like to be notified of any and all future uploads, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click all on the notification bell. And with that, remember, gravity works, guys.